That whole staff needs to be turfed. They are so poorly coached in every facet, and I'm sorry, getting boat raced by 30-plus by your so-called rival is no cause for celebration. Outside of one game, the offense is just as bad as anything else. Gundy's play calling is terrible. That all goes back to last year as well. Nothing but respect and love to the fellows for trying and stepping up when it was needed. It didn't work. Time to move forward. We cannot be a bottom dweller in the new Pac-12.
Well, I tend to agree with most of that. I think the concerning part for me, if I'm an Oregon State fan, is you saw a Boise State team last year be better than Oregon in every way other than special teams, which is just depth and raw talent. You lost to a Fresno State team that doesn't have the resources you have. You've seen Washington State, who is battling the exact same things that you're dealing with, and coaches leaving. By the way, they've had two basically first-round picks leave back-to-back in Cam Ward and John Mateer, and still found a way to keep their game competitive. They got blown out in the fourth quarter, but that was a 7-point game, and they managed to win the Apple Cup the year before. So, like, you're seeing mid-level programs not have this sort of fall off. And so for Oregon State, what happened to you was terrible, but it doesn't change the fact that with a good coach and the way the transfer portal is now, you can make changes. You can make significant changes. Indiana went from a laughingstock, and with one coach and a bunch of James Madison transfers, and I get it, they're Power 5 now, but it was Indiana, for God's sakes. And the last 2 years, Indiana, made the playoff, and this year certainly looks like, they may be one of those teams. So I just don't buy this hands up, there's nothing we can do sort of thing. You cannot afford to go into the new Pac-12 last year and be an afterthought in that conference.
Well, I think that's what he's saying.
Yeah. So, but where I'll push back is, to me, you now have 4 games to get this S together, right? I understand, like, you're not doing a knee-jerk reaction thing. And so to me, go prove that this isn't a fluke. Operationally, look more buttoned up. You are playing teams now supposedly more commiserate with where you're at, and now go prove it. And if you can't do it over the next 2 or 3 weeks, then yes, by all means, you got to kneecap this thing. I tend to agree with him. I don't think Trent Bray's the guy. I don't think he inspires. I don't think he's good in the community. I don't think the fans have a lot of belief in him. And apathy is something you can't afford to let set in. But it doesn't seem like Oregon State is quick to anger from a top-down position. And maybe they just don't want to deal with the money and buyouts and all that, even though it's not that much. But these next handful of games, to me, are absolutely critical if you want to have any hope of trying to salvage your reputation.
You don't want him to salvage anything.
I don't.
If you're a Beaver fan?
If I'm a Beaver fan...
You don't want that.
Well, I look at where Washington State's at, and I look at Oregon State.
And the reason I say that is because you probably want to move on from the coach.
I do.
So you don't... Well, I'm not talking about you. Yeah. I'm talking about Beaver fans.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, you don't want to see Oregon State win 4 in a row or whatever, which they're probably not going to do, because then that means Trent Bray might save his job, and you don't want that.
Well, I just, the idea of go scour the ranks and go find someone at the Division II level that builds a really exciting offense. You need to get asses in seats and people excited. And Trent Bray, while a good defensive coordinator and an X's and O's guy, he's a gruff guy. He's tough around high school coaches. He's a real no nonsense hard ass. And I just don't know if that's the guy that's going to light a fire and excite that program. You have to bring someone in that can put up points, that's young, that's energetic. And to me, I think the Trent Bray thing is just trying to hold on to the past. And you got to have a whole new sit down of, hey, this is our new reality of where we're at, and let's take some bold steps to go forward. And Trent Bray, to me, is just holding on to the past, and that doesn't work anymore.
It's not like they're devoid of talent.
No.
Right?
No.
I think at the start of the year, a lot of people,
yeah.
they were kind of high on Oregon State being all right.
I thought the schedule lend itself to really maybe putting together something.
Well, but
good.
I'm talking about their talent.
Yes.
And it's not, I don't know. I think we've already jumped into this place of, man, they just don't have anything. Well, I don't think that's true. We weren't saying that at the start of the year. Yeah. They got one of the best transfer quarterbacks in the portal.
Yes.
And now they look so inept that to me is coaching. It's not like they can't compete with some of the players, or should compete with some of the players they have. So I don't get why they're this bad, other than just the coaches have lost the locker room. It's just a bad vibe.
If I'm a Beaver fan and if I'm Beaver administration and I'm Scott Barnes, I'm hitting the reset button. Take some of that war chest money.
Hey, get Mike Gundy.
No, I'm good. Go and
you don't want Mike Gundy?
No, I do not.
He would never come to Corvallis.
No, he wouldn't. And he's quiet quitting and go away.
Today is the anniversary of the rant.
Oh,
yeah.
is it?
Mm-hmm.
It
He's
was
a man.
15 years ago. Well,
I
look,
think it's 19 now.
if you ask me which one is further along in your rebuild and who's in a better spot,
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Washington State losing Dickert and having their roster plucked and where they're at now with Jimmy Rogers and the way that looks, or Oregon State, same thing, and with Trent Bray. Ask me which one's further along, which fan base has more hope moving forward. And so to me, go find Montana State, go find South Dakota State, go find the guy at Youngstown State, go find the guy at App State that is innovative and it has an offense that scores 50 points a game, that will put asses in the seats, that kids will want, local kids and high school kids and kids coming in the transfer portal will want to come be a part of. They're like, dude, Oregon State slings that ball around. Dude, I go to Oregon State, dude, we're going to put up points, right? When Kalen DeBoer was at Fresno State, right? And was it Jake Hayner? It's like, yeah, let's go play in that system. You need to do that because this blue collar tough guy, we're very gruff exterior thing that you're doing right now. This ain't college football right now. That works in the olden days, but you've got to be able to adapt and kind of, I don't know, massage today's athlete and those coaches. Yeah. And I just don't think he's the guy to do it.
Back to Mendoza, I was looking at some numbers. The Indiana quarterback.
Yeah.
He had 5 touchdowns and 2 incompletions.
Yeah.
Incompletions.
Yes.
And 5 touchdowns. Yeah. He threw 3 more tutties than incompletions.
And someone pointing out.
And that, by the way, that's against a top 10 team.
Yes. Who, maybe not be a top 10 team, but has NFL defensive caliber talent that people were high on and won 9 games last year. And so I get that, someone's saying, well, Indiana is in the Big Ten at 80 million. Look, I'm not saying that you're going to get Cignetti to come, because obviously you're not at a Power 4 level anymore. But that's my point, is Indiana had utter apathy for 30 years of football. And they found the right guy. I think he came from James Madison, right? And he was an older guy, like in his 60s, but he came in with like kind of this new sort of like, hey man, this is how we're going to do it. And this is my offense. I'm bringing in my players. Go find that guy. Yes, you may not be able to keep him and you may not be able to get him, but you're telling me that I think he was like 61 when Indiana hired him. How many teams had the ability to go get Curt Cignetti and did not? Well, stop trying to hire from within. Stop trying to get the guy that's going to rebuild the Mike Riley glory days. Stop trying to go hire the guy that, quote, is a Beaver, and go find the guy that wants to innovate. Go find the guy that wants to put an offensive scheme out there that's going to put your nuts in a vice and make defensive coordinators not want to play you. Go find the guy that maybe the quarterback that's breaking state records but is too small. Every state has that kid that's 5'9" and is breaking all kinds of records, but Oregon doesn't want him or Washington doesn't want him because he's small and he gets overlooked. Go find that guy that wants to run a system that little 5'9" kid from Texas is like, all right, well, maybe the Power 4 is overlooking me, but I'll go to Corvallis and we're going to light the world on fire.
Yeah, go get yourself a Taco Dowler, that kid from Montana State.
Yes.
Great name.
Yeah.